So we'll start with our warm-up like we normally do. This one I think is 4 questions today. So pencil and paper or whiteboard or however you want to practice these problems is fine with me. So here is our Friday 5 today. We have number 1, in a bag of jelly beans, you can find the following flavors and amounts of each. There's 12 blueberry jelly beans, 15 strawberry, 7 lemon, and 4 banana. What is the ratio? So comparing quantities, what is the ratio of blueberry jelly beans to the total number of jelly beans? So this goes back to last week when we talked about ratios. You're comparing the 2 quantities. Number 2, list all the factors of 48. So factor tree, all the numbers that multiply into 48. Number 3, what is the remainder of 27,104 when it's divided by 28? And number 4, what is 9/16 as a decimal percent and a simplified ratio? Remember that simplifying a ratio is exactly like simplifying a fraction for that last one. Okay, so I'll turn on a little bit of music, give you guys 7-ish minutes to work on those ones. About 3 more minutes.
this is that song, huh?
Yep, Rolling in the Deep.
I could tell from as soon as it started playing.
Yeah.
In division, can you only go up to 9? Is like 9 the highest?
Yeah.
It is?
For up here?
Okay.
Yeah. Do about 1 more minute. Sorry if you don't finish.
Oops.
Miss Jones,
Yep.
there's some kind of echo in the song, and it's like high pitched, and it's kind of hurting my ears.
Sorry. We're going to stop it anyway, but if that happens again, just turn your microphone down.
I was only able to do 1. I was doing the number 3.
That's all right. All right. Let's go ahead and go over these. Let me go back and check on my attendance really quick. Make sure I got everybody.
So, Miss Jones, you know how I showed you that that puppy that we have?
Yep.
Well, my other dog didn't want to play with him, and then finally today they started playing with each other.
That's good. Just takes some time sometimes for them to get used to each other.
Yeah, and then he ran into a brick wall, and all you hear is,
That was pretty good. Alrighty. Can you guys see this? All of the things on the board?
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, you know what we need? I need the word problem. So let's start with number 1. The word problem said, in a bag full of jelly beans, you can find the following flavors and amounts. 12 blueberry, 15 strawberry, 7 lemon, and 4 banana. What is the ratio of blueberry to the total number of jelly beans? So how many blueberry jelly beans were there? You guys remember? Anybody get that one? How many blueberries? Good. There's 12 blueberries. Now we need to compare it to the total number of blueberries that there were. So there were 12 blueberry, 15 strawberry, 7 lemon, and 4 banana. So we need to add all those up. Anybody add those up and get that answer?
38.
Good. What I just got too. 38. Okay, so when we write that ratio, we have a 12 to 38 ratio, right? 12 blueberry to 38 total. But we can simplify this ratio. So what number can go into both 12 and 38?
4?
4 won't go into
4
38.
can, yeah. 2 can.
2 can, though. Good. Let's start with 2. So we'll divide both the 12 by 2 and the 38 by 2. What's 12 divided by 2?
6.
6. And what's 38 divided by 2?
19.
Good, 19. Okay, so now that we're at this point, can I simplify this ratio any further?
3 can go into both.
3 won't go into 19. 3 goes into 18, but not 19.
2.
2 won't go into 19.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I was thinking of 9 and 2.
This is actually as simplified as it's going to go. 19 is actually a prime number.
Oh, yeah.
So no number is going to go into 19 except for 1 and 19. So this is as far as it's going to go. So the ratio, if you were to put your hand in and grab a handful of blueberries from this bag, the ratio that you're probably going to get is 6 blueberry jelly beans to every 19 jelly beans you pick out of the bag total. Okay? So 6 to 19. 6 blueberry to 19 total. Our next one, the factors of 48. We're going to list the numbers that multiply to 48. So let's start with 1. 1 times what is 48?
48.
Good. 1 times 48. What about 2? Does 2 go into it?
Yeah,
How many times?
2 times.
Well, 2 times what gives you 48?
2 times 24.
Good. 24. What about 3? Does 3 go into 48?
Yeah.
It does. How many times?
16.
Yep, 16 times. 3 times 16. We know 4 goes in. How many times does 4 go in?
12.
Good. 5 does not. 6 does. 6 does. How many times does 6 go in?
8.
8 times. And then we have the number 7 in between, but 7 doesn't go into 48. And then you start repeating numbers on the other side, so you don't need to do anymore. So these are all the factors of 48. 1 times 48. 2 times 24. 3 times 16. 4 times 12. And 6 times 8. Did we forget any? I think we're good. Also, it's like a wave because I did not write very well sideways. Oh well. All right. Our next one, we are dividing, and we're going to figure out the remainder. So 28 going into 27,104. Does 28 fit into 2?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Doesn't fit into 2 or the 7, but 271, we need to figure that out. How many times does it go?
Oh wait, I was thinking of what would multiply into it.
Yeah, that's fine. What number did you guys get up there?
I got a 9.
9. 252?
Yep.
I think that's probably as close as we're going to get. So a 9, 252. Subtract and we get 19. Drop down our 0 and we have 190. How many times does 28 go into 190? Not bad. I got 6. What'd you guys get?
I got 6 too.
Yeah. 28 times 6 is 168. When you subtract, you get 22. Now we drop down to 4, 224. How many times does 28 go into 224? What do you guys think?
What was the question again? I wasn't paying attention.
Okay, how many times does 28 go into 224?
8 times.
Goes in 8 times.
I got
Nice.
424 on that one.
Nope, just 224. And when you do the multiplication, you actually get 224 with a remainder of 0. So the question it's asking you is, what is the remainder? And what's our answer?
The same.
0. 0.
I was way off.
Our remainder is 0 on that one.
And I was way off. Like I was off by 100.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Just make sure just check your subtraction, right? I think that's where it went wrong for you. All right, number 4, we're working with a ratio and a fraction and decimals and percents and all this. We kind of talked about it yesterday. We're going to talk more about it today. So this fraction right here, 9/16, is also a ratio. Remember how we talked about there's 3 ways to write a ratio? It can be in fraction form. You can write it like we did over here with the colon, or you can write 9 to 16.
With an equals, right? Oh yeah,
No,
like
what's
that.
the word?
The equals
Yeah.
doesn't work, huh?
No, not an equals. Just the word two. So there's the three ways to write it. So technically, all we need to do is simplify this fraction, and we'll have our simplified ratio part of this problem. So let's simplify this. What number goes into 9 and 16?
3.
No? Can we simplify this? Is there a number that goes
No.
into both? No, this is already simplified. So our answer to the
Multiply
simplified ratio. Huh?
But we can multiply it.
Yeah, but that wouldn't make it simplified. That would make it unsimplified. Right? Because simplifying it means we're going to get it to the smallest possible form. So 9/16 is as small as we can go. Now we need to do the converting between a decimal and a percent on these. So 9/16, we need to, let's go with the writing it as a decimal first. Do you guys remember how to change a fraction to a decimal? What process do we do?
Don't you have to go by making a fraction first, and then you have to wait? Are we doing the percent one?
Well, let's do
Yeah.
decimal
You have
first.
to, don't you? You have to make the fraction first, and then you can make it into a percent.
Yeah. So we can start by changing a fraction to a decimal, and then that decimal we can change to a percent. But how do I change the fraction to a decimal? What am I going to do with these numbers?
Add 'em?
No? We got to divide.
Oh,
When we go from fraction to decimal, we're going to take our top number, 9, and divide it by our denominator, 16. Does 9 go into 16? Or sorry,
No.
does 16 go into 9?
no.
No. So we need to add a decimal and a 0. And remember, if you add a decimal, make sure you bring it straight up. So now does 16 go into 90?
Yes.
How many times?
5.
5 times. Good. So if you do 5 times, you get 80 down here. Subtract and get 10. We can keep going to see if it ever ends. So let's go out a couple decimal places. We can just add as many zeros as we'd like, right? Does 16 go into 100?
Probably.
Yep. So 16 times 6 is,
96.
yep. So there's 6, we'll do 96, subtract and get 4. About one more. I don't think that we're going to get much farther than this. Does 16 go, oh no, we'll be good. Does 16 go into 40?
Yes.
Yeah, this one goes in twice. And what do you get? 2 times 16?
32.
32. Subtract and get 8, right? I'm going to get rid of this simplified ratio part.
Add another 0.
Add one more 0. And we have 80. Does 16 go into 80?
Yes, 5 times.
5 times. Evenly, right?
Yep.
So the decimal here is 0.5625, right? Here's our decimal, 5,625 10,000ths. Now that we have this decimal,
You gotta make it a fraction, right?
no, we need to go to a percent next.
So wouldn't it just be 5,625%? Wait, no, it'd be 56.25%.
Yep. So when you have a decimal, to change it to a percent, you're going to take your decimal and move it 2 times to the right. So we have 56 and 2500%. And we're going to work on that today multiple times. So hopefully it sticks in your head because we're going to do it a lot. Okay. So that's that warm up. Kind of a longer warm up, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and do some practice here.
Okay.
Okay, so having something to write on, probably good to do the practice with today, so that you're working on it with us and not just watching. Practicing it is always going to be good for you. I'm going to pull up our practice worksheet that we're going to do together. It's not on Google Classroom or anything. We're just going to do these problems together. And I'm going to trust that you guys are following along as well. So we're just going to practice a few different ones. We're going to take these percents on the right over here, 18, 28, 78, 96, 50, change them to decimals and fractions. So we're going to go from percent to fraction, and then we're going to do percent to decimal. We're also going to take these couple of fractions right here, change them into percents, and change them into decimals. So that would be fraction to decimal, fraction to percent. And then we're going to take these decimals over here and do decimal to fraction as well as decimal to percent. So we're going to practice all 6 of the things we're supposed to be learning this week. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Make sense?
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and let me erase the board. I'm going to write a couple on the board so that we can do a few at a time. Bless you. All right, so we have decimal, fraction, and percent. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is 18%. Then we have 28%, 78%, 96, and 50. Okay, so here's part of the chart that we're going to work on, just so that we don't have to flip back and forth. Stop presenting. Okay, so can you guys see that chart?
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to basically fill it out. So we're going to start with this 18%. Let's start with going from percent and changing it to a decimal. So percent to decimal. Someone talk.
What?
Okay, I just thought I heard someone ask something. So let's take 18% and change it to a decimal. When we change it to a decimal, first thing you do is get rid of the percent sign. It goes away. Okay? You don't need the percent sign. Then you need to take your decimal. Where is a decimal in this number? 18.
Behind the 18.
Behind it, right? You're going to take
Then
your
put a 0
decimal.
decimal.
Yep. Now we need to move it 2 places to the left to change it to a decimal. So we're going to go 1, 2, and it's behind the 1. Okay? So our decimal is 0.18. It's that easy on these ones. Just move your decimal 2 places to the left. Okay, so let's look at 28%. We're going to do all the decimals first. So percent to decimal, we'll do all those first, and then we'll do all the percent to fraction. So
Okay.
let's take 28%. First step is to do what? Get rid of what thing?
The percentage.
Okay, get rid of the percent sign. Now we need to move our decimal 2 places to the left, but there's no decimal, so where do I put it?
After the 28.
After the 8, good. Now I need to move it 2 places to the left and go 1, 2. You get 0.28. Okay. Why don't you guys take 2 minutes to do that same process to these 3 numbers? So 78%, 96%, and 50%. So take 2 minutes to get the decimals. So take the percent, change it to a decimal. Capiche?
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and do that. I'll leave this one up too.
I'm done.
All right, we'll wait about a minute. All right. So 78% on this one. We have 78, right? Percent. What do I do first to this number? If I want to change it from 78% to the decimal, what do I have to do first? Are we still there?
You have to move you have to make it a decimal.
How do I do
By
that?
moving the
Put a decimal
put a decimal behind the 8
the
and move it in front of the 7.
Good. Okay, so we get rid of the percent sign, take our decimal, move it 2 places to the left. So you should have gotten 0.78. Okay. Our next one, we have 96%. It's the same process. Get rid of your percent sign, put your decimal behind it, and move it twice. 96.96. What's this last one going to be?
0.50
Yep, 50 hundredths.
or 0.5.
Yeah, could be 0.5 too. They're the same thing. 0.5 and 0.50. Whichever works. Good. So that's percent to decimal, just moving the decimal 2 places to the left. Now let's talk about percent to fraction. This one's not too different, honestly. So let's say we have our 18%. Okay, you're still going to do the same process of taking off your percent sign. It goes away, you don't need it anymore. After you take away your percent sign, we need to make this into a fraction, and the way to do that is to put it over 100. So you have a fraction now, 18 hundredths.
Mm-hmm.
Now we just simplify. What number goes into both 18 and 100?
2 goes into both of them.
Good, 2 goes into both. So what's 18 divided by 2?
9.
9. Good. And then what's 100 divided by 2?
50.
50. Then we need to simplify farther. If we can we simplify this any farther?
No.
Nope. So our answer here is 9/50. That's our fraction.
Okay.
Okay. Let's look at 28 again. 28%.
I think the fractions part is the easiest.
Yeah, it might be. So let's look at this one, 28%. Again, your first step, get rid of the percent sign. You don't need it anymore. Okay, percent sign goes away. Second step, put your fraction over what? What number?
28.
100. Well, it'll be 28 over 100. And then we simplify, 28 hundredths. What number is going to go into both 28 and 100?
4.
4 goes into both. Good.
8 does too.
8 doesn't go into 28, just 4. Yep. Now what's 28 divided by 4?
It would be 7.
Good. 7.
And then the bottom one is
7. And then 100 divided by 4 is 25. Can I simplify 7/25 any further?
Nope.
No.
Nope. 7/25 is your answer. So why don't you guys take 2 minutes, do the same process for 78, 96, and 50. Okay, get rid of your percent sign, put it over 100, and simplify. Okay, so finish up 78, 96, and 50. Okay, so we'll be changing these 3% into fractions. I'll check my attendance while you guys do that. You guys need another minute to finish this one?
Yeah.
All right.
Mom, how do I type? How do I type?
All right, how are we doing? Ready to go over these couple?
No.
All right. We'll do about one more minute and then we gotta get going because we still have 2 other sections to do for these ones. Alrighty.
Done.
Sorry if you're not done. Let's go ahead and finish the look at these ones. So let's start with 78%. We're gonna take this percent, change it to a fraction. So we have 78%. With this number, we have 78%. What's the first thing I need to do? Get rid of the what?
Percent.
Yeah, get rid of the percent. You don't need it anymore. Now to change it to a fraction, what number do I need to put underneath it?
100.
100.
Good. 78 over 100. And now we need to simplify. This might have taken you guys a couple minutes because you can go kind of far on this. What number goes into both 78 and 100?
2.
2 will go into both, so let's start with 2. Okay. What is 78 divided by 2?
39.
39. Good.
And that's
And 100 divided by 2?
50.
50. Could you guys simplify this any further?
no.
No, 39 is a prime number, so you can't go any
No.
farther than 39.
No, it isn't.
You're right, it is not. 3 goes into it.
Yeah.
But 3 doesn't go into 50. So
Yeah.
this is as far as it goes. Good catch, Don. So this one is 39 over 50.
You're gonna give the percent to Oscar the Grouch.
Yep.
Who's that?
He's from Sesame Street.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's look at 96 this time. 96%. Again, what's my first step I need to do with this number?
Give the percent to Oscar the Grouch.
Good. Get rid of it. Put it in the trash. Next one. 96 goes over what number?
100.
This one kind
100.
of took a while.
Yeah. Now, what number goes into both 96 and 100?
2.
Okay, let's start with 2. What's 96 divided by 2?
48.
48. Good. 48. And then 100 divided by 2 is
50.
50.
50.
Divide by 2 again.
Yeah, we can keep going. 50 divided by 2 this time. Or not 50. Both of these can be divided by 2. So 48 divided by 2 is
24.
24. And then what's 50 divided by 2?
25.
25. 24 25ths. Can we go any farther than that?
Nope.
No.
Nope, we're stuck there. 24 25ths is as simplified as it goes. And our last one, 50%. I'm going to give you guys a little hint. This is one that,
One half.
huh?
One half.
Yeah, after this week, it's one that I hope you guys can just kind of memorize. If something is 50%, it is one half of something. If you get the number 0.5, it's one half. So this one is just one half.
I did it in my head.
Good.
Like,
And
oh,
if
yeah.
you put it in your head,
Wait,
it would have been.
But you can't simplify 5 and 2.
What are you talking about?
You can't simplify it. 5 and 10.
Yeah, you can. 5 goes into both. 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
One half. So yeah, if you were to take do 50%, you'd get rid of your percent sign, put it over 100.
That one
And
I
then-
forgot.
What number goes into both of those? You can do 5, 10, 50, or yeah. But the biggest one is 50. 50 goes into both, and you get one half. So this is one that you guys might want to memorize a little bit, because anything that's 50% of something is half of something, one half. Okay?
I memorized it.
Good. Let's go ahead and look at the next section of practice. I think we're on the fraction part of it.
Yep, we're on fractions.
All right.
I'll
Let me
do
erase
decimal
these.
first and then the fraction.
Well, if we don't finish it today, we're just going to finish it tomorrow. So
Okay.
I think we might just do one more section today, and then we'll finish it tomorrow and do quizzes.
For the this isn't for the social studies thing. I
Mhm.
finished the Google Slides yesterday, so I'm on that story now.
Okay. Alrighty, so when we present, we just did the 18, 28, 78, 96. Let's look at these fractions parts. So we have 3/10, 2/5. What else? 1/4, 11/20, and 1/5. Okay, so this time we have a bunch of fractions. We need to change them to decimals and percents. What should we start with? Let's do
I lost my
fractions
headphone.
to
Let's go
decimals.
from bottom to top.
Okay, we can go from bottom to top. That's fine. So let's go from fraction first to decimal.
The first one is 30%.
Wait, I don't want to know the answers. We're gonna do it later. Okay, so let's start with
Okay.
our fraction here, 1/5. We're gonna change it to a decimal. The way to do this, we did this a couple minutes ago with that first problem on the warm-up, is to take your numerator 1 and divide it by your denominator 5. So we have 1/5. We're gonna take our numerator, which is 1, and divide it by 5. Does 5 go into 1? Can I put 5 into 1? Does it fit?
No.
No, so we need to add our decimal and zeros. And if we add a decimal, we bring it straight up to. Now, we know it doesn't go into the 1. Does 5 go into 10? Yes, no? Does 5 go into 10?
Yes.
How many times?
2.
Yeah.
Twice. Trying to get 0. So there's our decimal right there. 0.2, 2/10. Okay. Let's look at another one. Let's just keep going from fraction to decimal. We'll do all of these like we did before. 11/20. Okay, so we have 11/20. We'll take our numerator 11 and divide it by 20. Does 20 go into 11?
Yeah.
What? 20 doesn't go into 11?
I thought you said 10.
Nope, 20 doesn't go into 11. So we're going to add our decimal and a 0 and bring up our decimal. Now, does 20 go into 110?
Yeah.
How many times?
More than one.
Yeah, there's more than one.
Five.
Take a Yeah, I heard it. It's 5.
I
So
said
this
9.
one is 100. 5 times 20 is 100. You subtract, and you get 10.
Oh, yeah.
Let's bring down one more 0, because now we have 20 going into 100. How many times does 20 go into 100?
5.
5.
BB games.
And
BB.
you're done. So here's our decimal here.
Easy.
55 hundredths.
Easy. Capital E, capital Z.
Good. So let's have you guys take 3 or 4 minutes. Go from 1/4, find that decimal. 2/5, find the decimal. 3/10, find your decimal. So go through the same process for these 3 problems. I'll give you guys 4 or 5 minutes to work on those.
Can I do the percent while we wait?
Sure.
I actually just realized I forgot how to do it.
That's all right. We'll do it in a minute.
Okay.
Is it frozen?
No, I'm here. We're just waiting.
Oh, never mind. I thought it was frozen.
No. Just finishing up those 3 problems that are starred on the right over there, or left, whichever side it is for you guys. We'll do about 1 more minute.
What if I put
I can't see it.
This fraction is 1/4. This one is 2/5. And this one says 3/10.
I thought you were giving the answers away. I'm like, those aren't the answers.
No, I'm just saying what the fractions are.
2 of them are only 1 number, and 1 of them is only 2 numbers.
Yep. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and go over these. We don't have a ton of time. So let's talk about 1/4. This is another one that you should probably memorize as the years go on. 1/4 is a pretty common one that's used. So we're going to take 1/4. The numerator is 1 and divide it by 4. 4 does not go into 1. Can't fit in there. So we need to add a decimal and a 0. Bring up our decimal. How many times does 4 go into 10?
2?
Yep.
Twice. Subtract and you get 2. I almost said 8. Let's bring down one more 0. How many times does 4 go into 20?
5.
5. Subtract and you get 0. So our decimal here is 0.25. That's another big one that you probably will memorize as the time goes on. for how much we use these numbers. Okay, what about 2/5? When you divided, what did you guys get for 2/5? What was our decimal for that one?
0.4.
Good, it is 0.4. 0.4, because this turns into a 20, and 5 goes into 20 4 times. And you're done.
Can I say the next one again?
Yeah, sure. Our next one, 3/10. This is the fraction. What's our decimal?
3/10.
3/10, 0.3. That one you can say out loud, and it tells you what your decimal is.
Yeah.
So that
Isn't
one
it pretty much on anyone like that?
Huh?
Isn't it pretty much like that on all of them like that? Like
Not
4
all of them.
10.
Some of them it works, some of them it doesn't. Like, so for 3/10, it totally works. But if you look at 1/4, saying 1/4.
No, I mean like the ones that are only over 10.
Yeah, if they're over 10 or they're over 100, you can say it and it's the same answer. Yep. So if we were to do 3 divided by 10 to get our decimal for that one, you got to add your decimal and 0. 10 goes into 30 3 times, so you get 0.3 there. Now, the next step here would be to go to fraction to percent. But the order that you go from fraction to percent is that you first have to go, you have to find the decimal, and then you move the decimal. So to go from fraction to percent, they want you to go from fraction to decimal and then take the decimal to a percent. That's the order you go. Fraction to decimal, decimal to percent. We already did all the fraction to decimals. So let's just take our decimals that we found and change them to percents. Does that make sense? You already did the first step of that part when we did this. So now, we'll start at the top this time. Let's take 0.3 and change it to a percent, decimal to a percent. All you're going to do is take your decimal.
We could
And
just
down
say
to-
the answer, really.
Yeah. Take your decimal and bounce it 1, 2 times. Add a 0 if you need to. This is 30%. And you're done. Just move the decimal twice to the right. 30%. That was a terrible 30.
Wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, but it was still bad. So 30%. What about this 4? 0.4. I'm going to take my decimal and move it how many times?
Once.
Not
No, I
one.
mean once for that one because it's only. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I see where you're going. There's only one number here, so you only have to move it once.
Yeah.
But no matter what, always move it twice. Even if there's
So
nothing.
you just put a 0 there every time.
Huh?
So you put a 0 there every time.
Yeah, always move it twice, and if you have to fill any place values, just put zeros in the place values. Yep, so this one is 40%. Because when you move your decimal twice, you just got to fill that place value with a 0 and you're good. Our next one, we have 0.25. Move it 2 places to the right, 1, 2, and you get 25%. I think this is the easiest part. Decimal to percent and percent to decimal are my favorite ones because you just move it twice. Our next one, 0.55, 5500ths. You're going to move it twice to the right. 1, 2, and get 55%. What's our last one going to be?
20%.
20%. And move it 1, 2 times. But you got to fill that place value with a 0 that you skipped. And you get 20%. Okay. I think we're going to end here for the day. We'll do that last third section of the chart tomorrow to start off class and do some quizzes. So,
Where did I go? Quizzes?
tomorrow, yeah.
Oh.